For our first story, we have How do I, male 31, bring up the subject of bathroom etiquette to my new GF, female 29, after she left a giant mess in my bathroom? So I'm dating this new woman, and she comes over to my home frequently. Well, she was over yesterday and after messing around she went and used my bathroom downstairs. After she left I went to use the same bathroom the next day and she must have had some explosive digestion issues. She left a huge mess in the toilet. Didn't flush. And it was sprinkled all over the seat and lid. It took me a while to clean it up and it truly was a nasty scene. Who doesn't flush? I'm not sure how to bring this up because that was very disgusting. I get accidents happen but zero attempt to remedy it is unreal to me. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, I decide right there and then this is not someone I want in my life anymore. Our second commenter says, anyone who leaves a mess like that can't be saved. Sorry. Our third commenter says, don't date grown adults that can't use a bathroom properly. This is just, why even keep trying? 6-year-olds know better. For our second story, we have, my husband 35, M is not happy with me 33, F buying my ancestral property on my link. I'm married for 10 years with my husband. I'm working for around 11 years in IT. My husband is also working in IT. We moved to USA when I got on-site opportunity 5 years ago. Since our marriage, whatever salary we got, we invested it together. As I have better job and salary, we bought a house in US with both of us on title, but loan is on my name and I own the financial responsibility. I worked 2 to 3 jobs and paid off almost half of the loan as well. Now my uncle decided to sell our ancestral property and I expressed my interest to buy it. But I wanted to buy it on my name as an asset for me as it's my ancestral property and I will pay it with my own money I earned through multiple jobs. It's the land next to my parents' house as well, so I wanted to keep this property separate from our marriage. But my husband is not agreeing to this and wanted it to be on his name as well, mentioning that I'm greedy. He also told me that this decision of me buying the land on my name will break our marriage. I'm now confused that what I'm asking for is right in a marriage or not. Is it a good decision to have property separate or join in this scenario? I need to clarify one thing here. My ancestral property that I decides to buy is in my home country and it's not in US. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, why isn't he helping pay of the home you have loan? I need that info. Our second commenter says, you're the one paying off your shared home in both of your names and he's telling you that you're greedy? I hate to say it, but you are being taken advantage of. Go ahead and buy the land. But you should also consider communal property laws in your state. Just because you buy it solely in your name does not mean that your spouse won't have a claim to it. Our third commenter says, where are you married? I would look at the laws for married couples first and make your decision. For our last story, we have, my husband, 30 male, told me, 30 female, we're sexually incompatible. What can I do to help? My husband, 30 male, and I, 30 female, have been together for 15 years since high school. We got married in 2018 and have been living together since. I noticed recently he's been a little withdrawn, so I asked him if anything's going on. He tried to deny it at first, but eventually I got him to open up. He said he's made this realization that we're just not sexually compatible. He said he has a really high sex drive while mine is pretty low, which is true, and he has fetishes that I will never be able to satisfy, mostly anal. And again, true. He was saying how it just hit him that he's only 30, that he still has more than half his lifetime left, and he was struggling to accept he'd be sexually frustrated for all that time. I asked him what he meant by being sexually frustrated. He said he spends most days wanting sex, and that I turn him down often or ask him to get me in the mood first, which makes him feel like sex is a chore for me and that I don't like it. The times I've initiated, not often, I thought he was really happy, but now he's telling me that he feels like I have all the control when it comes to sex, that he's always so turned on that as soon as I'm in the mood I can get some. That he feels powerless when it comes to our sex life. A little TMI, but for 6 months now our sexy time is pretty quick, with more time spent in foreplay than penetration. Now he's telling me that this is because he gets so excited during sex that he doesn't last long. I was pretty sad when I heard all this, and said I'll try harder to improve our sex life, but he said no. He said I've made such promises in the past that went nowhere, and that this is a him problem anyways and it isn't fair for me to push myself to do something just for his happiness. I then asked him what the solution should be, and he said he's already working on it. Apparently for the past month he's been focusing on not looking at me sexually, on seeing me as more of a roommate than his wife. He assures me he still loves me the same and wants to be with me forever, but this way the pressure for sex isn't there anymore. That's when it hit me. For the past few weeks he hadn't tried to grab my ass, boobs at all. And he's very grabby. But even more than that, I realized he hasn't been hugging me as often or kissing me either. It feels like all intimacy from our relationship is gone. What's worse is I didn't pick up on any of this. I feel so heartbroken. I hate that I've put him through this and that I can't satisfy him. I keep trying to initiate sex but he turns me down every time. He still laughs and is happy all around, but I do catch him being down every once in a while. It just feels like I'm losing him, and I don't know what to do. Any advice from anyone who's gone through anything like this? Edit. A lot of comments seem to suggest he's going to cheat on me, if he hasn't already. While nothing in life is absolute, he has often said that he finds cheating to be one of the worst things a person can do. His uncle cheated on his wife and destroyed their marriage, and he saw firsthand the effect it had on their young children. So I feel fairly confident that he's at least not cheating. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "You guys need counseling. It doesn't sound, to me, like he has any intention of cheating or leaving. It sounds like he withdrew intimacy as a defense mechanism against rejection. I'm a woman, but I'm in your husband's position. I have the higher sex drive out of the two of us. Now, it has improved over time, but I did the same thing. I stopped initiating because I was tired of getting shot down all the time. Find yourself a sex counselor or a sex-positive couples therapist and get to the root of the issue. At least then you'll know if it's something you can solve." Our second commenter says, "Some questions. 1. What is his desired frequency per week for sex? 3 times? 7 times? 14 times? 2. What is your desired frequency per week for sex? 3. Before you knew it was a crisis, how often per year would you try to initiate sex with him? 4. Do you initiate non-sexual physical contact with him, like kissing, hugging, etc.? Or do you wait for him to initiate that? 5. Even if you did have sex with him, would he still be satisfied if you did not do anal stuff? 6. How long has he been unsatisfied with the sex you guys have been having? 1 year, 5 years? 7. Do you have kids? If you do, it could explain why he is trying to make this work, even without the sex. 8. Do you think the fact that it took a month to realize that not only did he not initiate sex with you, but did not initiate any physical contact means that you are possibly even more dialed out of the relationship than he is? If so, why would you try to hold on to this and make it work?" Our third commenter says, "You are indeed sexually incompatible. You said in one of your comments you are happy with sex once every 2/3 of a week. You are only 30 and you have no children. If this is the frequency now, it will be non-existent after children. Your husband wants sex weekly and to do things you aren't interested in. He is trying to reduce his libido in order to not guilt you into sex by forcing himself to view you differently. Honestly, this is not fair on either of you. I don't see how sex therapy would even work. Your libidos are so vastly different. You both deserve to find someone who will satisfy your needs. He's not wrong that for him to remain dissatisfied for the rest of his life is a huge ask. For you to feel hounded for sex when you don't want it and then feel bad for rejecting him for the rest of your life is also a huge ask. Sexual compatibility is an important factor in the long run. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.